The Legend of the Drought and the Boy. Long ago, there was a village surrounded by a river and forests with abundant water. The village was always prosperous, and the villagers lived peacefully, blessed by nature. However, one year, there was a sudden lack of rain, and the village suffered a great drought. The river dried up, and the rice paddies and fields became barren. The people searched for water, but they could not find water anywhere in the village. As the drought continued, the villagers became increasingly exhausted. They looked up to the sky and prayed for rain, but the sky did not answer. Meanwhile, there was a young boy in the village named Hanul. Hanul wanted to help the villagers, but he felt deeply sad that there was nothing he could do. As Hanul walked on dry land every day, he remembered an old legend deep in the mountains outside the village. According to the legend, there was a spring at the top of the mountain where the spirit of the sky resided, and if you drank from the spring, you could solve the drought. However, it was said that only those with pure hearts could find the spring. Hanul decided to find the spring and end the drought. He climbed the mountain, and despite the arduous journey, he did not give up. At night, he endured the cold and darkness in the mountains, and during the day, he walked tirelessly under the hot sun. After several days, the spring was not visible, and Hanul became increasingly exhausted, but his strong will to save the village kept him going. One day, when Hanul was approaching the top of the mountain, a mysterious, shining fox suddenly appeared on the road ahead. The fox looked at Hanul and said, "This is where the spirit of heaven resides. Why did you come here?" Hanul told the fox that his village was suffering from drought and that he had come to the spring to save them. The fox confirmed Hanul's pure heart and guided him along the final path to the top of the mountain. With the fox's help, Hanul reached the top of the mountain and finally found the divine spring. The spring looked like a small pond, but the water was clear and deep blue. Hanul prayed earnestly to the spirits for water for the village, and returned to the village with water from the well. When Hanul arrived at the village, he sprinkled the water from the well on the dry fields and rice paddies. At that moment, life was awakened again in the dry land. The plants began to grow again, and the rivers began to flow again. The sky also became covered with clouds, and finally, a cool rain began to fall. The villagers were deeply moved when they learned that Hanul had solved the drought. They were grateful for Hanul's courage and sacrifice, and realized that he was a special child blessed by the spirits. Since then, whenever there was a drought, the villagers would recall the legend of Hanul, climb to the top of the mountain, and pray to the spirits with pure hearts. This legend symbolized that drought was not simply a natural disaster, but a mystical power that could be solved with the pure hearts and sacrifices of the people. Since then, the villagers have learned to cherish nature more, help each other, and overcome difficulties together. And whenever they prayed with pure hearts, the spirits always watched over them and blessed them.